Hello, everyone. I'm Natasha, your host for today. And if you're new here, I want to let you know that we upload a brand new English learning video every single day to help you improve your English listening, speaking, and overall fluency faster. In today's episode, you're going to take a big step toward becoming a more confident and more fluent English speaker. This lesson is a complete B1 B2 level advanced English listening and speaking practice masterclass. And throughout this session, you'll learn advanced English phrases, real daily life expressions, and essential vocabulary that you can use immediately in your conversations to sound clearer, more natural, and more fluent. We'll go through real-life speaking examples, guided practice exercises, and everyday situations where advanced vocabulary and phrases help you express yourself more confidently. You'll train your listening skills with natural English rhythm and intonation, and you'll practice speaking along with me to strengthen your fluency, pronunciation, and active vocabulary. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand these advanced English phrases more deeply, but you'll also be able to use them naturally in daily conversations, whether you're speaking with friends, colleagues, or in more formal situations. You are going to grow your vocabulary, sharpen your listening, and become a more confident communicator. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon if you want more helpful English learning lessons like this. So, settle in, relax, and get ready to improve your English with me. Let's get started. As we begin this lesson, I want you to take a slow, deep breath and simply allow yourself to settle into the rhythm of English. One of the most powerful ways to improve your English is to listen to natural speech, absorb the patterns, and then practice speaking along with it. So as I speak, let your mind follow the flow of the language. Notice the structure of the sentences, and whenever you feel ready, repeat after me in your own voice. This small habit changes everything, because the more you hear English, the more naturally you begin to think in English too, and that is what slowly transforms you into a fluent speaker. Today, we're going to explore advanced phrases and vocabulary, but we're also going to focus on how to use them in real daily life conversations, because fluency grows from real context, not memorized lists. Think of this lesson as a long, gentle conversation between you and me, where you are strengthening your understanding of English one moment at a time. Let's start with something simple, yet incredibly useful: thinking before speaking, but thinking in English. At the B1, B2 level, students often know many words, but they still hesitate when speaking because their brain tries to translate from their native language first. This slows you down and makes conversations feel stressful. So let me guide you through a small exercise. Imagine you wake up in the morning and you're getting ready for your day. Instead of thinking, "I need to brush my teeth," in your first language, say it to yourself in English. Whisper it if you want. "I'm brushing my teeth. I'm getting ready for the day. I feel a bit sleepy." The more you practice describing your world in English, the more fluent you become. This is called internal narration, and it's something highly fluent speakers do naturally. So I want you to try this right now. Look around your room, notice 3 things, and describe one of them in English. Don't worry about being perfect, just speak. Maybe you see a window, and you think, "The light is coming in. It feels warm." That's English fluency growing in real time. Now, let's bring in some advanced phrases that you can use in real conversations. For example, when you want to express that something is not exactly what someone thinks, you can say, "It's not quite what it seems." Repeat that slowly. It's not quite what it seems. This phrase helps you sound more precise, more natural, and more confident. Imagine someone asks you about your job and says, "Oh, it must be very easy." You can respond gently, "Well, it's not quite what it seems. There's a lot of work behind the scenes." Advanced English is not about complicated vocabulary. It's about the ability to express nuance, detail, and perspective. And nuance is what separates basic speaking from fluent communication. Another powerful phrase you will hear advanced English speakers use is, "I've been meaning to." This expression shows intention and a plan you've had for some time. For example, "I've been meaning to start practicing English every morning." Or, "I've been meaning to call you." This phrase sounds natural, warm, and very commonly used in daily life. So let's practice it. Say it after me softly. "I've been meaning to improve my English speaking." "I've been meaning to watch more English content." "I've been meaning to practice my pronunciation." Let these sentences flow. Don't analyze them. Let them become part of your natural speaking rhythm. Now let's imagine a real-life scenario. You are meeting a friend for coffee after a long time. You want to explain that life has been busy, and you haven't had time to relax. Instead of basic English like, "I was busy with work," you can say, "Things have been a bit overwhelming lately, but I'm finally catching my breath." This is advanced B1 B2 phrasing. It expresses emotion, situation, and intention all together. So let's practice. Repeat. "Things have been a bit overwhelming lately, but I'm finally catching my breath." If this sentence feels long, that's okay. The more you repeat it, the more your mouth and mind get used to the rhythm of advanced English. Fluency is not just about vocabulary. It's about rhythm, pacing, and delivery. Now let's work with another advanced expression. "I'm trying to get a better handle on." This phrase means you're trying to understand something more clearly or manage it more effectively. For example, "I'm trying to get a better handle on my schedule," or "I'm trying to get a better handle on English phrasal verbs." This is a phrase native speakers use all the time, and it makes your speech sound mature and expressive. So try it yourself. Say, "I'm trying to get a better handle on my English speaking practice." Feel how natural it sounds. When you use expressions like these in daily life, people immediately notice the improvement in your fluency. Now let's go deeper into listening practice. Listening is not just about hearing sounds. It's about catching meaning, rhythm, and intention. When you hear someone say, "I'm a bit under the weather today," they're not talking about the weather at all. It means they feel slightly sick. When they say, "I'm swamped," it means they are extremely busy. When they say, "I'm on the fence," it means they haven't decided yet. These expressions are essential for understanding daily English because native speakers use them constantly. So, let's practice understanding them in context. Imagine your coworker says, "I'd love to help, but I'm really swamped today." You immediately know they're too busy. Or your friend says, "I'm on the fence about going to the party." You know they're unsure. These are the building blocks of real fluency. Let's expand your vocabulary further with some advanced words that sound natural in conversation. For example, the word versatile means something that can be used in many different ways. You can say, English is a versatile language, or this tool is very versatile. Another word is essential. This means something is necessary or very important. You can say, practicing every day is essential for fluency. Repeat after me. Practicing every day is essential. These words help you communicate more clearly and precisely in conversations. Another advanced word you should know is inevitable, which means something that is certain to happen. For example, with practice, improvement is inevitable. This word helps you express confidence and certainty, so say it aloud slowly. Improvement is inevitable, and truly, it is. When you practice daily, you will improve. It's only a matter of time. Let's bring in more advanced daily life examples. Imagine you're talking about a project at work. Instead of saying, it was difficult, you can say, it was a bit challenging, but I managed to get through it. Or instead of saying, I don't understand, you can say, I'm not entirely clear on that, or could you clarify that for me? These small changes make your English sound much more mature and natural. Now, let's do a speaking exercise together. I'll describe a situation, and you respond in English using the phrases we've learned. Imagine your friend asks you, how has your week been? Your natural advanced answer could be, it's been a bit overwhelming, but I'm trying to get a better handle on things. Say it after me. Let it feel natural. Don't try to memorize. Just experience the flow of the sentence. Another situation. Someone asks you if you've started a new project you were planning. You say, I've been meaning to start it, but I haven't found the right moment yet. Repeat it slowly. Feel the rhythm. These exercises train your speaking muscles and your brain to form advanced sentences without hesitation. Now let's shift into vocabulary awareness. In English, the same word can have multiple meanings depending on the context. For example, the word catch can mean to physically catch something, like a ball, but it can also mean to understand something. When someone says, did you catch that? They mean, did you understand it? When someone says, I didn't catch your name, they're asking you to repeat it. This flexibility is what makes English both beautiful and challenging. But the more you hear it, the easier it becomes. Let's practice with the word hold. You can hold a cup, but you can also hold a conversation, hold your breath, hold a meeting, or hold on to hope. Words in English open up once you start recognizing these patterns. That's why listening practice is essential. It helps you understand how words behave in natural contexts. Now, I want to take you through a small visualization exercise. Imagine yourself in a conversation with someone you admire. They ask you about your goals for learning English. Instead of giving a short, basic answer, imagine yourself speaking confidently. You say, I want to express myself more naturally, and I'm trying to get a better handle on advanced vocabulary. Hear yourself saying it. Feel the confidence behind the words. When you imagine yourself speaking fluently, your brain starts creating the patterns that make fluency real. Visualization is not magic. It's psychology, and it works. Let's continue with more advanced phrases. When you want to express that something is very easy, you can say, "It's a breeze." For example, once you understand the concept, the rest is a breeze. When you want to say something is extremely difficult, you can say, "It's an uphill battle." These two phrases help you describe challenges and successes in a more expressive way. Let's now create a short conversation using these phrases. You, how's your English practice going? Your friend, honestly, it's been an uphill battle, but I'm slowly improving. You, that's great to hear. With the right methods, it becomes a breeze over time. Repeat this short exchange. Don't worry about sounding perfect. Just feel the natural rhythm. Now let's talk about pronunciation awareness. At the B1, B2 level, one of the biggest challenges learners face is blending sounds smoothly. For example, when you say, "I've been meaning to," the words flow together like one long phrase. Instead of saying each word separately, native speakers connect the sounds. So try it with me slowly. I've been meaning to. Now say it faster. I've been meaning to. Feel how the sounds connect. Practicing this connection helps you sound more fluent and natural. Another example is the phrase, "I'm trying to." When spoken naturally, it becomes, "I'm tryna." So say it slowly, "I'm trying to," then say it naturally, "I'm tryna." This is not incorrect. It's simply how real daily life English sounds. Training your ear to hear this helps you understand native speakers more easily. Let's bring in more advanced vocabulary. The word resilient means someone who recovers quickly from difficulty. You can say, "She is very resilient," or "Learning a language makes you more resilient." Another useful word is consistent, which means doing something regularly without stopping. And truly, consistency is the heart of fluency. Practicing English every day, even for 5 minutes, makes a huge difference. Now, let's create another speaking prompt. Imagine someone asks you how you're improving your English. You respond naturally. "I'm trying to stay consistent, and I've been meaning to practice speaking every morning." This is how fluent English speakers talk. So say the sentence slowly, then again naturally. Another expression we should practice is, "for the most part." This means generally or mostly. For example, "For the most part, I enjoy learning English." Repeat it, "for the most part." This phrase helps you express your thoughts with more precision. Let's continue with daily life vocabulary. Imagine you're discussing your schedule. Instead of saying, "My schedule is very busy," you can say, "My schedule is pretty packed this week." Packed means full, and it's a very natural way to sound more advanced. Now try it. "My schedule is pretty packed this week." We can also use the phrase, "at the end of the day," which means when everything is considered. For example, "At the end of the day, what matters most is consistent practice." Repeat it. This is a phrase people use all the time in real conversations. Now, let's do another guided speaking practice. I'll say a sentence, and you repeat it after me. "I want to feel more confident in English." "I'm trying to get a better handle on advanced vocabulary." "I've been meaning to practice more often." "Things have been a bit overwhelming, but I'm catching my breath." At the end of the day, improvement is inevitable. Say each sentence slowly, Then say them again in a natural flow. This repetition is not boring. It's how your brain forms the patterns of fluency. Now, let's build your listening comprehension with a short story written at a B2 level. Imagine you are preparing for an important meeting at work. You wake up early, make a cup of coffee, and try to organize your thoughts. You say to yourself, I'm trying to get a better handle on everything I want to say. As the meeting begins, one of your colleagues asks a question you weren't expecting. For a moment, you feel overwhelmed, but then you take a breath and say, That's not quite what it seems. Let me explain. Your colleague nods, understanding your point. After the meeting, you feel relieved and think, I managed to get through that. It wasn't a breeze, but I did it. This small story shows you how advanced English expressions appear naturally in daily situations. Now you say these lines yourself. Imagine you're in that meeting. Repeat, That's not quite what it seems. Let me explain. Then say, I managed to get through that. Feel how strong that sentence is. It communicates confidence, clarity, and resilience. We'll continue building on this foundation as the lesson grows longer and deeper. Every sentence you repeat, every phrase you notice, every rhythm you absorb is shaping your fluency. I want you to trust this process and allow English to feel natural, not stressful. The more you relax, the more your brain absorbs. As we continue, I want you to imagine yourself becoming more confident with every sentence you hear. Fluency isn't something that happens suddenly. It grows quietly, gently, and consistently through moments like this. Moments where you listen deeply, repeat softly, and allow your mind to reshape how it understands English. One of the most powerful tools you can develop at the B1, B2 level is awareness. Awareness of how sentences are built, how expressions carry meaning, and how your mind begins connecting thoughts in English without translating. And the more you practice in a calm, steady rhythm, the more fluent you become. So let your attention follow my voice naturally, without forcing anything. English becomes much easier when you stop trying to push it, and instead start allowing it. Now let's build in the expressions we explored earlier by integrating them into longer, more realistic daily life situations. Imagine you're on your way to work or school, and someone asks how things have been going lately. Instead of responding with something simple like, Everything is fine, you can express yourself more clearly and naturally by saying, Things have been a little hectic, but I'm trying to stay on top of everything. Repeat that slowly. Things have been a little hectic, but I'm trying to stay on top of everything. This phrase, stay on top of everything, means to manage, to control, to handle things responsibly. It's a phrase native speakers use constantly, and it immediately makes your English sound more advanced and precise. Let's expand this further. Sometimes you want to show that you're working towards something. Even if you're not perfect at it yet, you can say, I'm still figuring things out. Repeat that slowly. I'm still figuring things out. This phrase communicates progress, honesty, and understanding. It's perfect for conversations about work, relationships, learning English, or anything that takes time. If your friend asks how your English practice is going, you can respond, I'm still figuring things out, but I feel like I'm making progress. This sounds natural, confident, and open. A very B2 level expression. Now let's practice more advanced vocabulary through context. The word gradually means slowly, step by step, over time. Try this sentence. I'm gradually becoming more comfortable speaking English. Say it again, but more naturally, using words like gradually, eventually, slightly, considerably, significantly, makes your English richer and more expressive. These words help you show not just what happened, but how it happened. Another useful word is adjust. To adjust means to change something slightly to make it better. For example, I had to adjust my routine to make more time for English practice. Try saying that. Adjust my routine. This word is extremely common in daily life because we constantly adjust our schedules, habits, and expectations. Let's try another expression. It caught me off guard. This phrase means something surprised you. If someone asks a question you weren't prepared for, you can say, "That question caught me off guard." Or if something unexpected happened at work, "The sudden change caught everyone off guard." This expression is used in everyday English, and using it will help you communicate reactions more naturally. Now let's move into a guided speaking practice. I'll create situations, and you'll respond using advanced phrases. Imagine your colleague says, "Did you expect that change at work?" Your response could be, "Not at all. It really caught me off guard." Repeat it gently. Now imagine your friend asks, "How is your English practice going?" You respond, "I'm gradually getting more comfortable. I'm still figuring things out, but I'm improving." These sentences train your fluency by reinforcing natural patterns. Let's explore another powerful phrase. I'm working on it. This expression communicates effort without pressure. If someone says, "Your pronunciation sounds better," you can respond, "Thanks, I'm working on it." If someone asks, "Are you feeling more confident speaking English?" you can say, "Yes, I'm working on it, and it's getting easier." This phrase is friendly, humble, and very natural. Now let's build longer, more complex sentences using the expressions you've learned. Repeat this one. I've been meaning to practice more consistently, but my schedule has been packed, so I'm gradually adjusting my routine. This type of sentence is exactly what fluent speakers use. It includes time phrases, natural connectors, and realistic vocabulary. Say it again. At a natural pace, rhythm, flow, and confidence matter more than perfection. Let's add another phrase. It makes a huge difference. This means something has a strong positive effect. For example, practicing English every day, even for a few minutes, makes a huge difference. Or, shadowing conversations makes a huge difference in fluency. Repeat. It makes a huge difference. Now let's practice pronunciation and rhythm. When native speakers talk, they connect sounds smoothly. For example, "I'm working on it" sounds like "I'm working on it." Try saying it. Another example, "I've been meaning to practice" becomes "I've been meanin' to practice." Listen, repeat, and allow the sounds to blend naturally. Fluency is about comfort, not speed. Now let's add more advanced vocabulary. The word prioritize means to decide what's most important. Try this sentence. I'm trying to prioritize my English practice. Repeat it. Prioritize. Another useful word is inefficient. It means something doesn't work well or wastes time. For example, translating every sentence in your head is inefficient. It slows down your fluency. Repeat it slowly. Let's practice real-life situations. If someone asks how you manage your time, instead of saying, "I don't have time," you can say, "I'm trying to prioritize better, but it's a work in progress." Say it slowly. It's a work in progress. Let's shift to listening training. Imagine you're preparing for an important presentation. You've organized your notes, practiced your opening lines, and adjusted your tone to sound confident. But as the moment gets closer, you feel slightly overwhelmed. You take a breath and remind yourself, "I've been working on this for days. I'm more prepared than I think." During the presentation, someone asks a question that catches you off guard. You pause, collect your thoughts, and say, "I'm still figuring out the details, but here's what I know so far." After the meeting, you feel relieved and proud because you managed to express yourself clearly, even under pressure. Now repeat some key lines. "I'm more prepared than I think." "I'm still figuring out the details." "I managed to express myself clearly." These lines build confidence and fluency. Now let's explore more advanced expressions. To some extent means partly. For example, "I understand the concept to some extent, but I need more practice." Repeat it. Another phrase is "fair enough." This means you understand someone's point. Simple, natural, and very common. Here's a short dialogue. Person A: "Learning English takes a long time." You: "True, but improvement is inevitable if you stay consistent." Person A: "I understand grammar to some extent, but speaking is harder." You: "Fair enough. Speaking takes time, but practicing every day makes a huge difference." Now let's build vocabulary. Anticipate means to expect something. Repeat. "I didn't anticipate how challenging it would be to speak confidently." Reliable means dependable. Repeat. Shadowing is a reliable method for improving fluency. Now imagine explaining your progress to a teacher. Instead of saying, "I am improving," you can say, "I can feel myself improving gradually, and I didn't anticipate how much confidence I would gain." Here's another useful phrase. "I'm getting the hang of it." It means you're starting to understand something. Repeat slowly. "I'm getting the hang of it." Now imagine a real situation. On a video call, someone asks how your English practice has been. You say, "I've been meaning to practice more, but my schedule has been pretty packed. Still, I'm gradually getting the hang of it, and it makes a huge difference." Pronunciation practice. Repeat. "Pretty packed." Again. "Pretty packed." Now. "Getting the hang of it." Now, let's add emotional vocabulary. Motivated. Determined. Repeat. "I feel motivated to improve my English." And, "I'm determined to speak English more confidently." Now another short listening story. You join a weekly English conversation group. At first, you feel nervous, but as the session begins, you realize you can follow the conversation to some extent. When someone asks for your opinion, you hesitate, then say, "I'm still figuring out how to express myself clearly, but I'll give it a try." After the session, someone tells you, "You did well today. Keep going." You feel proud because even though speaking caught you off guard at times, you managed to participate. Now repeat. "I'll give it a try." "I managed to participate." "I feel proud of my progress." Let's continue with a final speaking practice. Repeat softly, naturally. "I'm gradually becoming more fluent." I'm trying to prioritize English in my daily routine. I'm getting the hang of expressing myself more clearly. I didn't anticipate how much confidence I would gain. I'm determined to keep improving. Let these sentences settle into your mind. The more you say them, the more they become a part of your identity as an English speaker. As we move forward in this masterclass, I want you to feel how your mind is gradually becoming more comfortable with advanced English patterns. You're not just memorizing phrases, you're absorbing rhythm, tone, and expression. This is exactly how fluent speakers learn, through repetition, context, and emotional connection. The more you let English feel natural, the more fluent you become. Think of this session as a long, gentle walk through the language, where every step strengthens your confidence. There's no pressure here, no rush, just a smooth journey into deeper understanding. Now, let's introduce another powerful phrase that advanced speakers use often. I'm in the process of. This phrase is perfect for expressing ongoing actions or changes. For example, I'm in the process of improving my accent. Or, I'm in the process of reorganizing my routine. Try saying it slowly. I'm in the process of improving. This phrase sounds calm, confident, and realistic. You're not claiming perfection, but you're showing progress. And that's what fluent communication is all about. Let's place this phrase into a daily life situation. Imagine you're talking to a colleague about your English skills. You might say, I'm in the process of becoming more fluent, and practicing every day has made a huge difference. Repeat it gently. This shows humility and determination, which is exactly the tone native speakers use in conversations about learning or self-improvement. Now let's build vocabulary through emotional awareness. The word mindful means being aware and present. You can say, I'm trying to be more mindful of my English pronunciation. Another useful word is intentional, which means doing something with purpose. Try this sentence. I want to be more intentional with my speaking practice. Words like mindful and intentional bring depth to your language. They help you express thoughts and feelings in a richer way. Now let's practice a phrase that will help you communicate more clearly. I'd appreciate it if. This expression is polite, formal, and incredibly useful in daily conversations. For example, I'd appreciate it if you could explain that again. Or, I'd appreciate it if you corrected my pronunciation. Try repeating it slowly. I'd appreciate it if. This phrase helps you make requests politely and naturally. Let's explore more advanced vocabulary in a real-life example. Imagine you're at work discussing a team project. Instead of saying, I don't agree, you can say, I see where you're coming from, but I have a slightly different perspective. Repeat it. This sentence shows respect, understanding, and confidence, all essential for professional communication. The phrase I see where you're coming from means I understand your point of view, and native speakers use it frequently to keep conversations warm and respectful. Now, let's add another powerful phrase. I'm open to suggestions. This phrase shows flexibility and willingness to learn. If you're in a conversation and someone offers feedback, you can say, Thanks. I'm open to suggestions. This expression makes you sound approachable and confident. Repeat it softly. I'm open to suggestions. Now let's expand your advanced vocabulary further. The word refine means to improve or make something better through small changes. You can refine your pronunciation, refine your writing, or refine your speaking style. Try this sentence. I want to refine my English fluency over time. Another useful word is clarity, which refers to how clear something is. You can say, I'm working on speaking with more clarity. Both refine and clarity are perfect for conversations about self-improvement. Now, let's move into a guided speaking exercise. I will give you a situation, and you respond using advanced language. Imagine your friend asks, How is your English practice going? You respond, I'm in the process of refining my speaking skills, and I'm trying to be more intentional with my practice. Say it slowly. Now, imagine someone at work asks whether you understood a complicated idea. You can respond, I see where you're coming from, but I'd appreciate it if you could clarify one part. Repeat it gently. These small conversations shape your confidence. Now let's train your listening with a deeper story. Imagine you've joined a study group to improve your English speaking. At first, you feel a little intimidated because everyone seems confident. But as the session begins, you realize that each person is also still figuring things out. You introduce yourself and say, I'm in the process of becoming more fluent, and I'm open to suggestions. The group smiles, and someone says, That's a great attitude. Throughout the session, you practice expressing your ideas. Sometimes you hesitate, sometimes you speak confidently, and sometimes you ask for clarification politely. When someone shares an opinion, you say, I see where you're coming from. By the end of the meeting, you feel more connected, more hopeful, and more prepared for future conversations. This is what real progress looks like. Now, repeat after me. I'm in the process of becoming more fluent. Then repeat, I'm open to suggestions. These phrases are powerful because they express growth and confidence. Now let's expand into expressive vocabulary. The word gradually is something we used earlier, but let's pair it with steadily. Steadily means continuously and consistently. Try saying, I'm gradually and steadily improving my English. Another advanced word is composure, which means calmness and self-control. You can say, I managed to maintain my composure during the conversation. Try repeating that. These words help you speak at a higher emotional and intellectual level. Let's continue with advanced phrases. A useful one is to a certain degree, which means partly or somewhat. For example, I understand this concept to a certain degree, but I'd appreciate it if you could explain it again. Repeat it slowly. This phrase is often used in academic or professional settings. Another powerful phrase is, That's a reasonable point. This is a polite way to acknowledge someone's opinion, especially if you don't fully agree. You can say, That's a reasonable point, but I have a different view. Repeat that. These expressions help you communicate confidently in discussions and debates. Now let's practice more real-life context. Imagine you're discussing a big decision with a friend. You want to express both understanding and disagreement. You might say, That's a reasonable point, and I see where you're coming from, but I'm not entirely convinced. Try repeating that. This is exactly how native speakers communicate nuance. Let's bring in another advanced vocabulary word. Overwhelming. It means too much to handle. You can say, Sometimes learning English feels overwhelming, but I'm trying to stay focused. Repeat it. overwhelming. Another useful word is manageable, which means something you can handle. Try saying, I want to make my learning routine more manageable. These words help you express challenges and solutions in a mature way. Now let's work with another phrase. I'd like to get your thoughts on this. This is a polite and advanced way to ask for someone's opinion. For example, I'd like to get your thoughts on my speaking practice. Repeat it slowly. This phrase is excellent for conversations in school, work, or language learning communities. Now let's shift into another guided story for listening practice. Imagine you're preparing for an important conversation with your manager. You feel slightly overwhelmed because you want to explain your ideas clearly. Before the meeting, you take a deep breath and tell yourself, I'm in the process of refining my communication skills. When the meeting begins, your manager presents a new project. You listen carefully and say, that's a reasonable point, and I'd like to get your thoughts on one part I'm not entirely clear about. Your manager appreciates your professionalism. Throughout the meeting, you maintain your composure, express your thoughts clearly, and respond with phrases like, I see where you're coming from, or fair enough. When the meeting ends, you feel proud because you communicated with confidence, patience, and authenticity. Now repeat after me. I'm refining my communication skills. Then repeat. I'd like to get your thoughts on this. These lines reinforce your ability to communicate politely and naturally. Now let's add another layer of advanced vocabulary. The word insightful describes something that shows deep understanding. You can say, that was an insightful comment. Another word is perspective, which means a particular point of view. You can say, I'd like to share my perspective. These words appear frequently in conversations where people discuss ideas, opinions, or experiences. Let's practice putting these words into context. Imagine you're in an English discussion group. After someone shares their opinion, you say, that's an insightful perspective. Repeat it. Then imagine someone asks for your opinion. You respond, from my perspective, consistent practice is essential for fluency. Try repeating that slowly. Now let's deepen your speaking skills with another powerful phrase. I'm starting to realize that. This expression helps you communicate personal growth and deeper understanding. For example, I'm starting to realize that fluency is more about confidence than perfection. Repeat it. This is a phrase you can use in emotional conversations, reflective discussions, or when sharing your learning journey. Now, let's explore more advanced expressions. The phrase, it occurred to me that, means you suddenly realized something. Try saying, it occurred to me that I learn better when I relax. Repeat it softly. This is a natural, reflective expression used in storytelling and conversation. Now, let's create a longer speaking prompt integrating everything. I'm starting to realize that fluency improves when I speak without overthinking. It occurred to me that being mindful and intentional with my practice makes everything more manageable. Repeat this slowly. These sentences help you feel how advanced English flows together in a natural rhythm. Now, let's build your listening skills even more with a new story. Imagine you're attending a workshop on communication. The instructor talks about clarity, tone, and expression. As you listen, it occurs to you that you've been improving more than you realized. During a group activity, someone shares an insightful perspective about confidence. You respond politely, "That's a reasonable point, and I see where you're coming from." Later, the instructor asks the group how they feel about their progress. You say, "I'm in the process of refining my skills, and I'm starting to realize that consistent practice